Oh, sorry. I can.
We'll get by.
You want me to run quickly?
You ready, Holly?
I'm ready unless
Okay,
you.
7 o'clock, I'll call the meeting to order. We acknowledge we are gathered on Treaty 1 and Treaty 2 territories and that Manitoba is located on the treaty territories and ancestral lands of the Anishinaabe, Anishinaabe, Cree, Oji-Cree, Dakota Oete, Dene Sulane, Ojibwe, Nihitawak. We acknowledge Manitoba is located on the homeland of the Red River Métis. We respect the spirit and intent of treaties and treaty making and remain committed to working in partnership with First Nations, Inuit, and Métis people in the spirit of truth, reconciliation, and collaboration. Okay. Okay, be it resolved that the minutes of the October 17th, 2024 regular meeting of council and the October 24th, 2024 and November the 4th, 2024 special meetings be approved as circulated and posted. Can I have a mover?
I'll make that motion.
Councillor Ross moves it. Councillor Maxwell seconds it. Any questions? Call for the question. All in favor? Carried. Okay. Adoption of the agenda. Be it resolved that the agenda be adopted as presented. Can I have a mover?
I will make that motion.
Councillor Ross. Councillor Brown seconds it. Any questions? All in favor? Carried. Okay. Okay, now we'll go into public hearing. Be it resolved that the meeting be recessed for a scheduled public hearing on the following matter. Can I have a motion to go into public hearing? Councillor Maxwell moves it. Seconder. Councillor Brown. Any questions? All in favor? Okay. Be it resolved that the meeting be recessed for scheduled hearing, zoning bylaw 173004, 2024, and reclassify PT Northwest 20, 1017W, Lot 3, Block 4, Plan 1813 from RR5 to RR2. That's actually the motion. I read the other one before. So, okay. So we already called for the question. Okay, now I'll read over the process of the public hearing. Okay. Excuse me. The purpose of this public hearing is to receive representations from the applicant and from any persons who wish to make them concerning. We will hear first from the applicant, then from the present to wish to make representation, starting with anyone who wants to speak in favor of the proposal. At the end of the presentations, the applicant will have an opportunity to respond. If in the response the applicant supplies new information or raises new issues, then the others will be given an opportunity to speak again. At the end of each presentation, the members of council may ask for clarification from the speaker on any fact or issue, but will not enter into a debate. Person speaking must address the chair. If they have questions that they think the applicant should answer, they should raise them in their presentations to the chair. The applicant will have an opportunity to respond to questions when the other presentations are finished. This is also not the time to question the members of council Under the Planning Act, the purpose of the public hearing is for council to receive representations, and a discussion or argument involving members of council is inappropriate. Okay, now go back into the. No, we don't have Brad here, eh? Planning, so,
Yeah,
yeah, normally we have the planning manager here, but he's not here, so if you want to explain, get the CEO to explain what the public hearing is about. If not, I can read it out for the application.
yeah, it's pretty, and
Pretty straightforward.
yeah, it's to reclassify from an RR5 to an RR2.
Yep.
Rural residential. The subdivision has been through. We've had first reading. Now we're having the public hearing.
Yep. Okay. So the applicant is Curtis and Camille Coulter. We'll get them to come up and bring forth the presentation. Yeah. Introduce yourself and
So my name's Curtis Coulter and my wife Camille. We're the owners of the property in question. We've made application to amend the zoning. Our belief is it's it's a requirement to the process of subdivision. So we're asking the zoning to go through so the subdivision can be completed. And we're in favor of it, and I'm assuming council will also be in favor, but.
okay. Any council member have a question for Mr. Coulter? Okay. No, good. Now I'll ask the audience, is there anybody in the audience that's in favor of this application? No? Is there anybody in the audience that wants to speak in opposition of the application? Would you please come forward, have a chair, and state your name?
Hi, I'm Lila Perkins. I have property adjoining their property. I am 100% against the rezoning. I have no issues with the subdivision, subdividing of your property, but I have a huge issue with the rezoning. It is forever going to change the look of Cottonwood Acres. And I think that that needs to be addressed, because you start with one, it's gonna be a whole lot of other people, possibly. And that is going to wreck the individual situation that we have out there, where we are no less than 5 acres, upwards of 50, 20 for some places. We need to maintain that. There's plenty of other areas out there that are 2 acres. Go to Spruce Woods, go to Chater, go to Grand Valley. Leave us at 5 acres.
Thank you, Lila. Is there anybody else that wants to speak in opposition of this application? Anybody else? Okay,
Can I make a comment?
yeah, come back up and,
So I'm not sure if they're aware, but there's already 2 acres in that development along Highway 340. There's at least 2 or 3 other lots that are 2 acres and zoned RR2 already. So I'm not the first. Just to be clear.
point. Okay, thank you.
I got a
Anybody?
quick, can I,
Question? Yeah, absolutely. Counselor.
Chairman, just wondered about our development plan. What is it? Is there anything in it?
It is in here. I'll just read out the report from KPD. The application is to separate a 5 acre lot into 2.52 acre lots. The area surrounding these lots is an RR5 residential 5 acre lot. Although community planning and government departments have no concern with this application, including density of the area, Keystone Planning District does have concerns with this application. Splitting this lot into 2 lots could potentially allow for all other lots to have the same done to them. The area currently has a couple of 2-acre lots on the southwest side of Highway 340 as well as 6 by 150 wide lots along the southwest side of Highway 340. There is one 2-acre lot on the northeast side of the highway near the application property, which seems to be part of the original subdivision. There are approximately 50 5-acre lots on the north side of Highway 340. Doubling this could allow for there to be potential up to 100 lots in the future. There are only concerns the KPD has. The final decision ultimately rests on council. So your question, that's why we needed the
Yeah. the
Manager
development
here.
Plan isn't really, we haven't got it yet, our new development plan.
Oh, the new one, yeah, we're still operating on the old one.
Right, so,
Anybody else that wants to speak in opposition? If not, you got any closing remarks, Mr. Coulter? If not, I'm going to close the
Well,
public
I'm
hearing.
just concerned, Sam, that the subdivision was approved. And this, I'm told, is a requirement of the subdivision being completed. So if the zoning doesn't go through, then how does the subdivision get completed?
I can answer that.
Okay.
I mean, subdivision is totally different than rezoning. You can subdivide that lot.
Right, but I was told the subdivision could not be completed unless the zoning was amended.
That is correct. KPD probably advised you of that, eh?
Right, so,
Yeah.
I mean, we've spent a large amount of money on this, only to have it being denied doesn't make sense.
Yeah, go ahead.
The subdivision is conditional
Yeah.
upon this being
Right,
rezoned.
so if this
So, yeah.
doesn't get rezoned, then the subdivision is null and void.
Right.
So I mean, we're into this for almost $10,000. For you to say now, no, you can't go forward. I mean, if somebody was to refund my money, I'd gladly walk away, but I don't think that'll happen.
Okay. Anybody else? If not, I'm going to call for the question. I'll ask to close the public hearing. Can I have a mover to close the public hearing? Councilor Maxwell, it moves, and Councilor Brown seconds to close the public hearing. Okay. Okay, just give me a second, and it is, we close the public hearing at 7 minutes, it's in 12, 7:12. Okay. Okay, we're at 4.3. You've got a memo there. You don't have the whole file. Are we ready to do that one?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
did,
I didn't see it here. Okay, we're out of public hearing, but we'll have to go back in. Be it resolved that the meeting be recessed for a scheduled public hearing on the following matter, VO, variation order, 007-24-V. Can I have a mover to go into a public hearing again? Councilor Maxwell, seconder, Councilor Ross. Any questions? Call for the question. All in favor? Okay, we're in public hearing for the next one. Okay. So, is there anybody here speaking for the, I might not spell it right, Spruit? Are you here? Feel free to,
I have nothing to say really.
yeah, it's pretty straightforward.
Just, yeah.
Okay.
once you can.
Tell us what you want. We don't have the whole file in front of us, but
My name is Sean Spirit from the owner of the property. We're just looking to build a pole shed for cold storage for my ag equipment, my hay bale and stuff. Is we bought land from Emil Eggert, and right now it just sits outside getting covered in snow. So just want to try and protect some of my assets. So basically,
great. Awesome. Anybody else here that wants to speak in favor of the variation order? Anybody wants to speak against? Okay, nobody else? No other comments there, Mr. Spruit? Okay. Give me a second here. No. Which one do you want me to do? Which one is the,
4, 3,
close the public,
6.
yeah, 3-6. Be it resolved that the public hearing be closed at 7:14 and return to the regular scheduled council meeting. Can I have a mover? Councilor Drohan, seconder Councilor Maxwell. Any questions? All in favor? Carried. Okay, we're back to the normal meeting. Okay, reports of committees. I guess there is one there. Do you want to
I
give that
just-
report to KPD? Yep.
I just put that
Yep.
there because you folks
Yep.
from KPD might want to talk about it. I don't know, just as a reminder.
Actually, I missed that meeting. I was out of town. I'll get a representative.
It's just a notice that the public hearing has been moved to December 4th, 2024. There was a couple little coloring problems that the province had identified, and we just need to correct them. And so there'll be that meeting at 9 a.m. on December 4th for the final development plan process to go
Yeah.
through.
So there was already one meeting,
We already
correct?
did it, but the colors were incorrect in the map, apparently.
And this is just to kind of
Just to
adjust
make sure,
those.
Yeah. In case people are confused by the color of the province, the colors corrected. So it's a small thing, but that's the rules, so that's what you have to do.
Okay. Anybody, any questions on that? Okay. I'll have a motion. Be it resolved that the verbal report of committees be received as presented. Can I have a mover? Councillor Brown, Councillor Ross seconds it. Any questions on this? Call for the question. All in favor? Carried. Okay. Communications, be it resolved that council accepts in the communications as presented. Can I have a mover? Council Maxwell, Council Brown. Anybody got any questions? Yeah, I've got a question on that very last one. Is that going to be the letter from the new residents of Lake Clemente? Letter dated October the 23rd. Is that going to become public? Once we receive it, will it become public knowledge?
Well, I never know what to make public because this is really just, it's not to us, it's to Wab Canoe. So
I was just wondering.
yeah, I
It
never,
shows up here, but
if
it's
it
not on
was,
the other one.
yeah, if it was just directly to us, I would make it public, but this
Okay.
is really just a copy to
Yeah.
us.
No problem.
So yeah, that's the only reason I never.
Anybody got any questions on some of the other communications? There's a bunch of them. If not, I'll call for the question. All in favor? Okay. Carried. Okay, accounts. Be it resolved that the payroll accounts be approved for payments as follows. Direct deposit payroll of October the 17th, 2024, $14,461.75. Direct deposit payroll of October 31st, 2024, $16,188.64. Direct deposit payroll of November 14th, 2024, $18,537.61 for a grand total of $49,188. Can I have a mover? Councillor Drohan, Councillor Maxwell seconds it. Any questions on any of these? No? Oh, call for the question. All in favor? Carried. Yeah, thank you. Be it resolved that council approve the list of accounts for expenses for checks numbered 12364 to 12440 for a total amount of $2,590,290.19. And be it further resolved that council approve the September council indemnities and expenses for a total amount of $4,019.36, and the October council indemnities and expense for a total of $3,941.06. Can I have a mover?
I'll make that motion.
Councillor Ross. Councillor Rohan seconds it. Any questions?
I'll just make a comment that the reason why that check is so high is we started to pay some of the school tax back to the province.
One big one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And again,
Good point.
we simply collect this
Yeah.
and remit it.
In and out. That's a big one. Probably our biggest month of the year. Yeah. Okay, any other questions? Call for the question. All in favor? Carried. Okay. 8.3, be it resolved that the unaudited financials for the month of October 2024 be accepted as presented. Can I have a mover? Councillor Rohan, Councillor Maxwell. Any questions? All in favor? Carried. Okay. 8.4, be it resolved that the September 2024 and October 2024 bank reconciliations for the general reserves and utility accounts be accepted as presented.
I'll make that motion.
Councillor Ross moves it. Councillor Brown seconds it. Any questions? All in favor? Carried. Bylaws. Be it resolved, bylaw 1734-10-2024, being a bylaw to regulate and control the mining and transport of aggregate in the municipality, be hereby read a second time. And I have a mover. Councillor Drohan moves it. Councillor Maxwell, I'm sorry, yeah, Councillor Maxwell seconds it. Any questions? I'm just going to make a comment here. This is just to change the fees, and we've had multiple requests from the public to see when we're going to sit down. We need a public engagement. There's some things that came out of that municipal board hearing. At the end of the day, we haven't included that, and I really struggled. I mean, I think Councillor Ross and Councillor Drohan heard it during campaign that there's some issues there that the residents really wanted to see change in that bylaw, and I think we should take into consideration either at the third reading, just to deal with the provincial fees is one thing, but I think there's other things that we heard loud and clear from the residents there that live in the area. They're continuously asking for us to put more rules in place or more things. So I'm challenged with just changing the fee structure.
Well, Mr. Chairperson, I wasn't on council then, but previous council, there was a hearing, and out of that hearing came some recommendations to start some type of a committee involving citizens and gravel companies and council. And as far as I know, that hasn't come to be yet.
Councillor Ross, that's a real good question. You're right, it was previous council, and I think when we campaigned, and I do believe today we got an email from a concerned resident that put on a presentation. I'm wondering if we shouldn't think about getting an engagement, like a meeting together with the residents there. Yeah.
So you could still do that. We're putting this in place so that we don't have to, because those fees change for the cost of living every January, but by the time we get the information and then we give it first and second and third reading, it's already January, February, March, April, and then we're playing catch up, and then we have to have different fees for this. It just makes it really complicated. So we're just trying to say that the fees be increased as the province does by the cost of living. And then you can absolutely still look at the rest of the bylaw.
Can we, I agree that those fees you gotta deal with those, but I do believe we need a public engagement meeting. I mean, we had one set for October and we never went forward with it. I mean, I think you heard it loud and clear,
You're talking
Council
about
Roy.
public engagement. That's a different public engagement you're talking about.
Or, yeah,
You're
just
not
so
referring to
the,
mine, you're talking a
for
different one.
for the people to, obviously, have some input. We don't have, we went through the same thing last year. We advised the people, we will call for a meeting, but,
I would suggest that we as a council sit down and at a committee level and talk first, so we're all on the same page, so we can identify what our strategy is before we
Invite all the
invite
residents.
everybody else and have 5 different ideas about what we want.
We
Yeah.
had that meeting, we had it set up, that was one of the ones that we missed, right? When we couldn't get in the building, I think. We were planning.
That's
to
right,
meet, right?
that's right.
To talk about how we were gonna do it, and we couldn't get in the building. Remember when they spray foamed it?
Yeah, that's right.
That was set up.
yeah, we were talking about a public engagement meeting.
Just how we're
Okay.
gonna set it up, so.
So what we'll do, let's commit to the residents out there, set a meeting, and I'll support it, like, just to get the fee in place. I do agree administration
But this
needs
is-
to get that.
This is important to get these fees. lined
Yeah.
up, Because last time, if I understand correctly, we can't back check.
Mhm.
So we gotta make sure we have this ready when the time
Yeah.
comes.
Okay, I'll call for the question. I'll support it. Yep. Yep. All in favor? Great. Okay, and now we'll do the third reading. Be it resolved bylaw 1734-10/2024, being a bylaw to regulate and control the mining and transport of aggregate of the municipality, and hereby read a third and final time. Can I have a mover? Councilor Drohan, Councilor Maxwell. Anybody, any question? No. I'll ask the question now. Can we set a meeting? Just for us as a committee level, I do believe we do have an aggregate bylaw chairperson.
Are you talking public engagement? or-
Well, Terry said,
Well, no, we have
Council-
to have a strategy meeting
Yeah,
first
but
before.
that was your meeting, wasn't it?
I believe it was, yeah.
the aggregate, there's an aggregate chairperson, so,
Yeah, but that wasn't the same thing. We were setting up a meeting for the public engagement, which was for everything, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the other meeting.
Yeah, Councilor Drohan is the aggregate.
it's the aggregate. Yeah, we'll leave that two separate. I think we need two separate.
Okay.
Yeah. And in all fairness, I think we need the aggregate people too.
Yeah, you're only going to get certain people from that area. that
Yeah.
are concerned.
So, okay, I'll leave it with council and we'll discuss it offline. Okay, I'll call for the question. All in favor? Carried. Okay. Okay, go to 9.2. Be it resolved that bylaw 1733-10/2024, being a bylaw to establish an aggregate revenues reserve fund, be read for a first time. Can I have a mover? Councillor Maxwell, Councillor Brown, the seconder. Yep. Any questions? All in favor? Carried. Okay. Be it resolved that council accepts the municipal board order B 24008, which orders that the municipality of Cornwallis zoning amendment bylaw 1717-06/2023, PT Northwest 241018W, specifically Lot 12, Plan 65953 from 5 to 2 acres be confirmed. And be it resolved that municipalities seek legal and professional planning advice on the requirement next steps for this and future zoning amendments. Can I have a move?
All motion that.
Councillor Ross, Councillor Drohan. Any questions? No questions? Call for the question. All in favor? Carried. Oh, are you?
I'm good.
Okay, carried. Okay. Ooh, okay.
Mr. Chairman, I just would like to say that this is no
Yeah.
relation.
That's, you're not the trucker. Sorry. Yeah, whereas applicant Gerald Brown, owner 5047847 Manitoba Limited, of W 260919W subdivision application number 4116 248666 proposes to subdivide a yard site that is currently part of roll number 50500 and 50800 from the quarter sections Northwest 26919W.
Okay, so that, you need to, that next part is not part of this. I'm sorry, I'm gonna delete that piece. That's
Which one?
road subdivision 4.9 acres. That's not. So I'm gonna remove that next sentence. And also the Keystone Planning, I'm gonna also remove that one. They have not saw it yet. I asked them if they haven't had any concerns, so I'm gonna remove
Okay, so
that piece.
can you correct the resolution and we'll start from scratch? Because I'm just reading what's.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So I'm just removing those two and it should be good and I will
So I start from the
I will-
proposed subdivision?
update it. You were good to keep,
Sections Northwest 2619W,
yeah. mhm.
okay, and
And-
Southwest 26919W. That's what I've got here on my screen,
Yeah, mhm.
okay? Now, the next one, the proposed subdivision.
And therefore it be resolved.
Okay, and therefore be it resolved that council hereby approve the above said subdivision subject to the following conditions. That a conditional use order be obtained from the non-farm dwelling of the Ag 80 zone as necessary to ensure compliance with the zoning bylaw. That a variance order be obtained reducing the minimum site area of 80 acres to 75.61 acres from residential parcel or residual parcel on Northwest 26919W is necessary to ensure compliance with the zoning bylaw. That a variance order be obtained reducing the minimum site area of 80 acres to 77.91 acres of residual parcel on Southwest 26919W as necessary to ensure compliance with the zoning bylaw. That a variance order be obtained for the shop setback from rear property line from 25 feet to 14 feet and meeting any other conditions and requirements of subdivision as are necessary. There. Okay, Councillor Brown moves it. Seconder. Councillor Grohan. Any questions? No, call for the question. All in favor? Carried. Okay. Be it resolved that the council approve the media spokesperson policy as presented, and be further resolved that the previous policy that appointed the Reeve as the media spokesperson be replaced with the above said policy. Can I have a mover?
I'll make that motion.
Seconder, Councillor Rohan. Anybody, any questions? All in favor? Yeah. Against? I'm against it. Yeah. 4-1. Okay. Be it resolved that the council accepts the proposed interim water rates for the Chater utility prepared by Way to Go Consulting with the minimum quarterly charge of $42.22, proposed rate of $3.01 per cubic meter. Can I have a mover? Councilor Grohan, seconder, Councilor Brown. Any questions? No. Just make a comment here. It's interim. We've got no data to go with. We just kind of have to go. Way to Go Consultant went around and gave council some numbers. Again, it's just the interim, and as more people hook up, that rate could change. So, yeah, I just thought I'd bring that up to people's attention. If nobody else has any, call for the question. All in favor? Yeah, carried. Okay. Be it resolved that council accepts and regret the resignation of Michelle Traboka from the administration assistant position. I have a mover.
I'll make that motion.
Counselor Ross, Counselor Maxwell. Anybody in question? All in favor?
Just wish her all the best.
Yeah. Okay, when is her last day? I wasn't at the last meeting. Yeah, personnel meeting. 27? Okay, great. Yeah. Good. Okay, wish her all the best. All in favor? Yeah, carried. I missed the personnel meeting. I have to attend something else. Okay. We got nothing there.
Yeah.
11.6, right? I mean, there was nothing at 11.5. Be it resolved that council approve the application from SL1 for the installation of the following 3 telecommunication towers within the RM of Cornwallis. TOWM 027 at 5407 Provincial Truck Highway number 10, DOWM 034 and 59103 Road 107 West, and TOWM 049 at Highway number 1 and Hunter Road. Thing. Have a mover. Councilor Rohan, seconder. Councilor Brown. Anybody any questions? Should have good cell service in this area, hopefully. Yeah. Okay, call for the question. All in favor? Carried. Okay. Just a minute. Okay, be it resolved that the RM of Cornwallis provide shared tower a letter of concurrence for the proposed telecommunications tower STCM 157 90-meter tower at 59081 Marsden Road. Can I have a mover? Councilor Rohan. Seconder, Councilor Maxwell. Any questions? Call for the question. All in favor? Carried. Okay. 11.7. Be it resolved that a GRO growth, renewal, and opportunities for municipalities application be approved by council for the Spruce Woods Community Park project with the requested provincial support of $75,000. Can I have them?
I'll make that motion.
Councilor Ross, Councilor Rohan. Councilor Ross, do you want to explain to the public what that is about? You've been working on that.
That's the playground at the Spruce Woods area that we applied for funding and received a grant that we're going to also contribute some to and
Great.
build a playground facility and a family picnic area on a area of land that we own in Spruce Woods.
Great. Yep. Thanks for the hard work. I know you've had a couple of meetings there. Anybody else got any questions? Call for the question. All in favor? Carried. Okay.
I just want to also mention one other thing that that was what every one of us was questioned that night if we would support that. When we had that engagement meeting before the election, every one of us was asked that question if we support that. So thank you for
Yep.
supporting that.
So next generation coming along. Yeah. Okay. Now, 11.8. Okay, whereas the applicant Sean Sprout and landowners Sean Sprout and Caitlin Pennycook of the property legally described as Northwest 150917 98160 RD 51N roll number 6300 applied to the council to vary the application of the zoning bylaw number 1664-03-2016 under Part 5, Table 5.2 in order to reduce the front yard setback for an accessory building in the Ag 80 zone from 125 feet to 40 feet. And whereas council held a public hearing to hear representation in favor or in opposition of the application. Now therefore be it resolved that after careful consideration of the application and any representations made for or against council hereby approves variation application VO 007 2024-B. Can I have a mover? Councilor Maxwell, Councilor Brown. Any questions? All in favor? Carried. Okay. Now, be it resolved in accordance to the Municipal Act, Section 152(3), council do hereby close the meeting to the public and move in camera at 7:39 PM to discuss personnel, a matter that is preliminary stages respecting which in discussion public could prejudice the municipality's ability to carry out its activities or negotiations, the conduct of existing and anticipated legal proceedings, the conduct of an investigation under enforcement of the act or bylaw, the security of documents or premises, a report from the ombudsman received by the head of council, and therefore be it resolved that council agree to keep in confidence all matters discussed at this closed session. Can I have a mover to go in camera? Councilor Maxwell, Councilor Bruhan. Any questions? All in favor? Okay. The camera is next door. We shall be back.
I'm gonna shut that off because we're
Yeah.
done. So,
You're not giving Coulter
Yeah.
a decision on their subdivision? On their,
That was on the,
no,
we go by the agenda there, so.
Yeah.
We approved the agenda and that's the way it's. Yep. Okay.